صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Chapter on the purchase of a slave from the enemy at war and giving him to somebody as a gift and manumitting him. The Prophet, peace be upon him, asked Salman to make a contract of his manumission with his masters. In reality, Salman was a free man, but the mushrikun oppressed him and sold him. Ammar, Suhaib, and Bilal were taken as captives in war booty. Allah said, "And Allah has preferred some of you above others in wealth and properties. Then those who are preferred will by no means hand over their wealth and properties to those slaves whom their right hand possess, so that they may be equal with them in respect thereof. Do they then deny the favor of Allah?" Quran, chapter 16, verse 71. Footnote: This example Allah has set forth for the pagans, etc., who associate false deities with Allah, that they would not agree to share their wealth with their slaves. Then how they agree to share false deities with Allah in His worship. Narrated Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him, emigrated with Sarah and entered a village where there was a king from amongst the kings, or a tyrant from amongst the tyrants. The king was told that Abraham, had entered the village accompanied by a woman who was one of the most charming women. So the king sent for Ibrahim and asked, "O Abraham, who is this lady accompanying you?" Ibrahim replied, "She is my sister," that is, in religion. Then Abraham returned to her and said, "Do not contradict my statement, for I have informed them that you are my sister. By Allah, there are no true believers on the earth except you and I." Then Abraham sent her to the king. When the king got to her, she got up and performed ablution, offered salah, prayer, and said, "O Allah, if I have believed in you and your messenger and have saved my private parts from everybody except my husband, then please do not let this disbeliever overpower me." On that, the king fell in a state of unconsciousness, or had an epileptic fit, and started moving his legs. On seeing the condition of the king, Sarah said, "O Allah, if he should die, the people will say that I have killed him." The king regained his power and proceeded towards her, but she got up again and performed ablution, offered salah, and said, "O Allah, if I have believed in you and your messenger and have kept my private parts safe from all except my husband, then please do not let this disbeliever overpower me." The king again fell in a state of unconsciousness, or had an epileptic fit, and started moving his legs. On seeing that state of the king, Sarah said, "O Allah, if he should die, the people will say that I have killed him." The king got either 2 or 3 attacks, and after recovering from the last attack, he said, "By Allah, you have sent a satin to me. Take her to Abraham, peace be upon him, and give her Ajar, Hagar." So he came back to Abraham, and said, "Allah humiliated the disbeliever and gave us a slave girl for service." Footnote: Abraham, peace be upon him, accepted the gift from the infidel. Narrated Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas and Abd bin Zam'a quarreled over a boy. Sa'ad said, "O Allah's Messenger, this boy is the son of my brother, Utbah bin Abi Waqqas, who took a promise from me that I would take him as he was his illegal son. Look at him and see whom he resembles. Abd bin Zam'a said, O Allah's Messenger, this is my brother, and was born on my father's bed from his slave girl. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, cast a look at the boy and found definite resemblance to Utbah, and then said, The boy is for you, O Abd ibn Zam'a. The child goes to the owner of the bed on which he was born, and the adulterer gets nothing but the stones. Despair, that is, to be stoned to death. Then the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, O Sauda binti Zam'a, screen yourself from this boy. So Sauda never saw him again. Narrated Sa'ad that his father said, Abdul Rahman bin Auf said to Suhaib, Fear Allah, and do not ascribe yourself to somebody other than your father. Suhaib replied, I would not like to say it, even if I were given large amounts of money, but I say I was kidnapped in my childhood. Narrated Urwa bin Zubayr, Hakim bin Hizam said, O Allah's Messenger, I used to do good deeds in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, such as keeping good relations with my kith and kin, manumitting slaves and giving alms. Shall I receive a reward for all that? Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, replied, You embraced Islam with all the good deeds which you did in the past,